So in the last 6 months of 2025, I made a little over $100,000 in my business. And I will tell you, the last 4 years prior to that, I worked every single day on my side hustles and businesses, and I did not make a dollar. And about, I'd say a year prior to making that 100K in those 6 months, I really got into self-growth, spirituality, manifestation, and my own personal quest for the truth of what is going on here in the world and what is really possible for me as a human. And I have learned so much about myself, the world, so many different things that have really made my life so much better in so many different ways that I can't just keep it to myself. And that's why I started this channel, and that's what this channel is going to be dedicated to: self-mastery, becoming the best version of yourself, and sharing everything that I have learned that has allowed me to get to a point where I am now working for myself and really living what I feel a little bit like, I feel almost like guilty because like how good my life is sometimes. Like it's really that fucking amazing. So basically that's what this channel is going to be dedicated to: sharing everything that I have learned and helping whoever may come across this get better themselves, because I really do believe if 100 people come across this video, one person's going to watch it and the trajectory of their life is going to completely change, because this stuff is really that good. And you are such a powerful person and human being, and the things that you can do here on this planet are greater than you could ever even conjure up in your own mind. And so this video is going to be talking about a couple different things I had to change about myself, about my beliefs, to get to the point where I can make like 10, 15, 20 grand in a month and it almost kind of feel like casual. And I think the first thing that my entire business, and once I really made this shift, things really started to change, was like delusional self-belief. And I really stopped negotiating with myself on what was possible. So I'll say my last 4 years in like business, where I really just was like, I want to make some money. Like that was really all my goal was for like 4 years. Without really I feel like to have success in business, you kind of need that like mindset and spirituality to really make it work. At least make it work at a level where you will become fulfilled in the process of doing it, everything. So one of the first things that I had to really change about myself was delusional self-belief to the fact that it is actually possible. And the 4 years of like business, I was always like negotiating with myself of like, is this actually going to work out? And then I finally got so fed up with all that. I was like, dude, I have been literally sitting there going, maybe it might work, maybe it won't, and that is like your body, your mind, the universe, the world going, dude, this guy has no fucking clue what he wants. Like, let's let him sit in that in-between limbo state until he makes up his own mind of whether he actually wants it or not. And I finally made that of course, it is going to work out for me. And I think one of the ways that I really like killed that like limiting belief, or whatever you want to call it, is I just looked for evidence, dude. Like, where is some evidence to the fact that this could actually work out for me? All right, number one, let's look around. Let's look on YouTube. I mean, no offense. Let's look at the amount of like kind of idiots on YouTube who have like crazy success like out of nowhere just because they like dedicated themselves to it. Okay, let's think about all the times in my life where like really lucky and weird things have happened to me. I remember like one time in high school, I won a freaking raffle for like a vacation, like a week-long vacation at this crazy resort for my family. I swear to God, I never even remembered entering in that. And I have so many like really weird stories like that of like really amazing things happening to me. So I sat there and I said to myself, let's think about all the amazing things that have happened to me in my life. And let's look at all the other people online who have made $100,000 in a month doing this and this and that. Like, why not me? Like, seriously, why not me? And I made a decision that like it is going to work out for me. And I had like truly delusional self-belief in the fact that it was going to work for me. And I didn't waver in that. And I learned to really stop battling with that little inner critic in my head and just kind of let it do its thing, which I think is like the second thing, because delusional self-belief is almost like nothing if you don't actually believe it yourself and you start to listen to that voice in your head, the little inner critic. And I think that's the second thing is I stopped battling with that voice in my head and I just kind of let it be because I mean, I feel like I don't even need to explain how the voice goes. It's like you try something new, you sit there and you go, maybe I can do that. The first thing that's the first thing that little voice, are you sure that's going to work out? Are you sure? And I think, I mean, for me, it's still like all the time that little voice in my head, like, wants to sit there and like take over and tell me, or like I try to sit there and say, like, maybe this is probably, like, it tries to sit there and know what's right and what's going to work out. And I think I have found a separation between me, who I really am as a person, and that little, and the thoughts and the voice in my head. And I think that's like a really important thing is finding that separation from you, your spiritual being, your consciousness, to the thoughts that come. Because it's like we don't even choose our thought. We don't think our own thoughts. I mean, like, really, sit here for a second and try to tell me, what is your next thought going to be? When you try to sit there and you think about what your next thought going to, there's like a space of blankness for 1 second. And I think in that little bit, you were almost the awareness. So I have found that little voice is never going to go away. But you can sit there and, you know, when it comes up, you go, no, okay. Or you can just go, fuck you. Like, you're not right. Like, you try something new for the first time, you're going to have so much like inner critic going like all the time. You don't have to listen to it. You don't have to be your thoughts. And I think that has been like a huge thing for me. Hopefully everything I just said, and it's kind of like making sense because I'm kind of rambling, is really like feeling that separation between you and the thoughts that come, and understanding that you are not your thoughts, and those thoughts, your little inner critic, is mostly wrong. Because I think for most people, they listen to that inner critic, and that little inner, they think they are their thoughts. And if you think you are your thoughts, and your thoughts are always telling you it's not going to work out, are you even going to try in the first place? Like, no, of course not. So that's why for me, it has been like, honestly, like really life-changing to sit there and like very simply understand that no, I am not my thoughts. I am the awareness behind it. And I can take action and move in my life knowing that I am not my thoughts. And knowing that I am a limitless human being who can actually do anything, even though my little inner critic all the time will sit there and tell me I'm not good enough or I suck at things. Like me starting this YouTube channel, dude. Can you even imagine what my inner critic is telling me right now? It's like, dude, you can't even talk on camera anymore. Like, you suck at, like, you shouldn't be doing. And I'm pushing that. It's not that I'm even pushing it to the side. It's like clouds in the sky. I'm letting that inner critic pass, knowing that I will get better every single time I make a YouTube video. Knowing that there's potential to make even more money with YouTube than there is like with my business. Like, I sell t-shirts, like my business has nothing to do with YouTube. So yeah, really not sitting there thinking that you are your thoughts, sitting there and finding that separation. I have personally found in my life for that really just to be life-changing. And I think through finding that separation, you can start to really enjoy the process and the craft of what you are doing. And that's the third thing I want to talk about is really, dude, it's like, I think the most important stuff in life goes back to like what you learned in kindergarten. It's about the journey. It's not about the destination. And I think that is the most true fucking thing. I literally, I swear to God, dude, I have a thing on my wall, dude. I took a dollar bill and I wrote like 5 zeros after it. So it says like $100,000. And I was like, this is my goal. That's the only thing on my goal wall, dude. It's written in Sharpie on my wall. And that was my goal, $100,000, dude. I want to make that in a year. That's super cool. And, dude, it literally was like the last 6 months, dude, the last like 3 to 6 months, I hit that fucking goal. And guess what? Nothing changed. It's like I finally got there and nothing changed. And I think for most people, it's like you see really successful like billionaires, millionaires, like celebrities, they sell their business or they have like this huge exit and then they just like become depressed because it's like you work your entire life thinking like this goal is actually the end goal and is actually the point. No, it's about enjoying the craft. It's about enjoying the process. It's about enjoying being a human being through all of that. So it's like now that I hit my goal, I understood that was like almost never the point. It was really about becoming the person that I had to be to even obtain that goal. Let me say that again. It was not about me getting the thing. It was about me becoming the person that I had to become to get that goal. And I think that right there, what I'm talking about, goes for everything in life. You want like this specific girl, this specific partner, you have to become a certain person in order to have that thing. In life, okay, there's another thing that's very important is like understanding that life will put you through different tests to shape you to become the person that you have to be to even be able to hold that goal. Because if I got that $100,000 within my first year of running businesses and I never learned any of this stuff that I'm talking about now, I mean, fuck if I know where I'd end up being. I feel like I'd probably end up just blowing all the money, or I'd be super materialistic, or I like wouldn't care about my family or my pets. I'd probably just go make stupid decisions. Like, you really have to go through the trials and tribulations of life to become the person that you need to be to even hold the goals that you want. And then of course, you finally get to the end, and then you look back and you understand it was never about getting the goal. It was about becoming the person that I had to be to get that thing in the first place. So I think that's really important, because before you even get that goal and before you even like to learn that lesson, you really need to get the goal, and it really needs to hit you all at once. You need to be like, oh my God, it was about the journey. But then even then, I'm telling you this now because you can understand on your quest to your first goal or whatever it is for you now, you can slow down. You can enjoy the process of being a human, because that is like almost the entire point. And I think that's what people say like enlightenment is or whatever. It's like before enlightenment, you go and wash the dishes. After enlightenment, you go and wash the dishes. But there's but you just do it as a human, and you are present throughout that. So I think in being able to enjoy the process of the work that you are putting in is like so extremely important. And also it's important too, dude, because I finally hit my goal, and then for like a month I didn't want to do anything. Like I just was like, and I before I even knew that I wasn't gonna like satisfy me or fulfill me, and I still sat there and I was like, I literally feel like I did nothing for like a month straight, and I was just like off the shitter. But I'm fucking back now, I'll tell you that much. We are back, and I feel fucking amazing. I love doing the work in my business. I'm so excited to be making these YouTube videos now because I'm enjoying the process, and I know I'm getting better in that process. And I'm like really just like being a human, like in through all of this. And now I'm like, I want to like make the world a better place while being a human, while getting better, while making more money. Like you can do all of those things. Yeah, so I think that's like a huge thing, dude. It was like, it's never about the goal. It's about being a human. It's about enjoying the process of getting those things. And I feel like this is harder to listen to or like hear that when you're like broke and you like need to make money. And like, yeah, it's like, I've been there. I know how that feels. But I think even then, throughout those moments, you can still find enjoyment in the struggle of getting there. Because, dude, what a beautiful fucking thing that is as a person to sit there and be at your lowest of lows and be the one who fucking gets up and puts in the work anyways. When you're at, like, rock bottom. To be able to put in the work and you're at rock bottom, dude, that is, like, one of the strongest things you can do as a human. So if you're there now, dude, I mean, yeah, dude, give yourself a pat on the back for that, dude. But yeah, enjoying the craft is like very important, and I'm rambling for a while now. And again, who knows? Maybe none of this makes sense. Maybe all of it makes sense. If anybody watches this video, let me know. What do you think? Anyways, the last thing that I want to talk about is actually like the most simple thing that I'm like still actively doing right now, and I'm still getting better at. It's just, dude, get rid of your like. When I say like it's about being human. Like, being human is like feeling your own body. It's like, right now, you like, feel the bottom of your feet. Feel your own breath. Feel like the top of your, like, really feel what it means to be human. That is one thing that is never going to change throughout your life, is that little thing. What is that little thing behind your eyes? And you actually, as a human, like, that never changes. And for me, in understanding that, and really just like being okay with that, I have been able to like get rid of a lot of my like really bad habits, like my scrolling on my phone, this little piece of shit phone, like Instagram and TikTok. I used to just scroll all day, and I was like, if and for me now, when I'm consciously aware of the fact that like I'm a fucking human being playing this like human experience, it's like I don't even have the urge to scroll anymore. It's like I'm like, what the fuck am I doing looking at my phone, dude? Look at the world out there. Look at those trees. Look at all of this. Like, oh my, like my entire body is like this insane mechanism that is like somehow working. Like, why can't I just be okay with just sitting here doing nothing? And I think like with being human is like being okay with like just as important as the work is, it's like just as important to have like downtime for yourself and like be with yourself and like feel your own breath, meditation, and getting rid of those like bad habits. And I think literally simply through being human, you naturally start to get rid of those bad habits. But that was really like the last thing I wanted to say is, you know, getting rid of your bad habits, dude. It's like you have what, like, I don't know, 80, 90 summers on average. You got 80, 90 years of your life. You spend 4 hours a day on your phone. I don't even want to know. It's probably like 20 years of your life, some shit like that. It's like, really, what decisions are you going to make today that your future self is going to be happy about? Like, sit there and ask yourself, what does my future, what does that $100,000 version of myself do? For me, it's like, he makes YouTube videos. He probably has a couple different businesses, probably invested in real estate, probably spends his money well, probably invested. So what do? I do micro versions of all those things every single day. That guy, my future version myself, making $1 million a year, you think he scrolls on Instagram all day? Fuck no, dude. He's locked in. He's doing the work. He's being human. He's being a good person. He's understanding the truth of the world. And yeah, so that's like a couple different things that I really had to change about myself. And again, who knows? Maybe none of this made sense. Maybe a lot of it made sense. But to recap some of the things that I'm talking about that I wrote down that I honestly just started rambling about anyways, for me, it started with delusional self-belief in the fact that like maybe it is possible. And through that, I stopped battling with the little inner critic in my head. And like clouds passing in the sky, thoughts come up and they go. I am not my thoughts. I am the awareness behind them. I don't need to sit there and fall into the trap of self-criticism. My light went out. That's how you know it's time to end the video. But finding the separation between your thoughts and the awareness. And through that, you can start to enjoy the craft of your work. You can enjoy the thing of being a human being, because it's really a beautiful thing. And then you finally understand it was never about the goal. It was about becoming the person that I had to be to even obtain that goal and hold that thing in my hand in the first place. And then, of course, getting rid of your bad habits, replacing them with good ones. What does a future version of yourself do? What does a $1 million version of yourself do? What does he do every day? What are the habits like? What businesses is he working on? What does he explore? How does he spend his time, his money, his energy? Who are the people he is hanging out with? And day by day, embody those habits into your own life. And before you know it, you will have your overnight success, which I think I'm going to make an entire video on that. But everybody's overnight success took 10 years. And I still feel like I have so much room to grow. And I am like so excited for the possibilities of what could be with my life. But anyways, if anybody did watch this video, maybe it made sense. Maybe it made no sense. Who knows? But this is my first video of many, and I'm going to continue to make them because, again, this stuff is so good, and I want to help whoever comes across it live their life to the fullest potential. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's a really nice place to end the video. But again, if anybody watches, I do appreciate you. Have a good fucking day, and enjoy it, dude.